Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me today. And as promised, I'm doing this video to help outline a solution for a drought, a pending drought that seems to be planned, and it's totally unnecessary. It's unnecessary because we know there is a weather modification program. It's been patented and it's been expressed by the powers to be. So we know, for example, that Dubai brings in rain once a week, something like this. I'm not sure of the exact date, with actually great consequences. It creates sandstorms. There is a company, I'm not sure which country it is, there is a company that will guarantee you sunshine over the environment that you're having your wedding or your event, anything like this. And I believe in Russia, back in the late 90s, Paul McCartney had an open-air concert there, and they used weather modification to guarantee that there wouldn't be rain for the duration of the concert. So we know there is a weather modification program, and we could end hunger in Africa actually by turning these almost desert lands into rich agricultural grounds for growing food. So we need to take back our own power, and we need to create rain and end the risk of drought so that there will be absolutely no food shortage. So rather than me explain this, we're going to see a little video of Greg Braden explaining the lost mode of prayer. Now, this isn't prayer in the sense of Christianity or Hinduism or any organized religion. It's just called the lost mode of prayer. And he's going to talk about how his Native American Indian friend went out into the wilderness to pray rain. It's a very simple technique that we can do, but I'll talk more about it after we've seen this video. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that this is something that we can all do. So I'll be right back.
During the 1990s, early 1990s, the desert Southwest was experiencing one of the worst droughts in history. And a Native American friend of mine invited me to join him one day in a place in the high deserts of northern New Mexico to share in a prayer of rain. He didn't have to ask me twice. I said, you bet, I'd love to participate and see what this prayer is all about. So we met at an agreed upon location, and we hiked through several 100,000 acres of beautiful high mountain desert sage until we came to a place that was so old. Even the people today don't know who built this place. It was essentially a stone circle, and each stone was placed just as it was by the hands of the ancestors so long ago. And it was in this place that my friend began his prayer. What he did was he removed his shoes, stepped into the circle in his bare feet. He honored all of his ancestors. He simply said, all of my ancestors, all of my ancestors. Honored the four directions. He turned his back to me, held his hand in a prayer position for just a few seconds. And then he turned around and he said, I'm hungry. Let's go get a bite to eat. And I said, I thought you were going to share this prayer. I thought you were going to pray for rain. And he looked at me and he said, no. He said, because if we prayed for rain, rain could never happen. Because the moment you pray for something to occur, you've just acknowledged that it does not exist in that moment. And I thought about what he said. It made a lot of sense to me. So I asked my friend, I said, if you didn't pray for rain just then, what did you just do? What happened when you closed your eyes? And you turned your back to me just for those few moments. And what he said was this. He said, when I closed my eyes, I began to feel the feeling of what it feels like to have rain in our Pueblo village. He said, I smelled the smells of what it smells like when the rain falls off the earthen walls of our buildings. And I felt the feeling of what it feels like with my naked feet in the mud. There's so much mud because there's been so much rain. And he said, in that way, I opened the door to the possibility to bring rain into our world. Well, I think about this mode of prayer a lot. Later that afternoon, something amazing happened. I was watching the weather maps, and the drought that had happened for so long suddenly changed. We saw the high-pressure system move across Utah and then dip down from Colorado into northern New Mexico and make a little U-turn and come right back up. We had rain that night. We had rain all the next day. It rained, and I called my friend. And I asked him, I said, there's so much rain, the valleys are flooding, the roads are flooding. What in the world is going on? And he was quiet just for a moment, and he said, that's the part of the prayer. He said, I never quite figured it out.
So, as you can see, it is as simple as it looks. Now, if you've never done this before, then it will take more than just one time to go out there and pray rain. You need to probably do this a few times every day. And the most important thing is you have to believe that it's going to work, because this is the biggest killer for all manifestation processes. We can go through all the words, we can go through the actions, but if we don't believe, this blocks it completely. So trust, be in your own power. We know this works. And so the advantage of this is you don't need masses of people. You alone can create rain over the area in which you live. But imagine if you do it in your area and I do it in mine, and somebody's doing it in Brisbane and someone's doing it in New York or Copenhagen or London or Madrid, and we're all doing it. We have this ripple effect and we create a powerful, powerful manifestation process. So the choice is ours. It's up to us. Let's take back control. Know who we are, and let's be in our own power. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.